For centuries, Rome was the center of the known world. Its armies conquered continents, its laws shaped civilizations, its roads connected lands from Britain to the deserts of the Middle East. At its height, the Roman Empire ruled over nearly 60 million people. Cities flourished under Roman authority, trade flowed across vast distances, and the empire seemed unstoppable. But no empire lasts forever, and the fall of Rome would become one of the most dramatic turning points in human history. The collapse did not happen in a single day. There was no single battle that ended the empire. Instead, the fall of Rome was a slow unraveling, a combination of political chaos, economic decline, military pressure, and internal instability. To understand how the greatest empire of the ancient world collapsed, we must first return to the 3rd century. By this time, Rome was facing a growing crisis. For nearly 200 years, the empire had enjoyed a period historians call the Pax Romana, the Roman peace. But that stability was beginning to fracture. Emperors rose and fell with alarming speed. Between the years 235 and 284 AD, more than 20 emperors claimed the throne. Most did not die peacefully. Many were assassinated by their own soldiers. Power struggles became common. Civil wars erupted across the empire, and every conflict weakened Rome's ability to defend its borders. Meanwhile, new threats were rising beyond those borders. In the north, Germanic tribes were growing stronger. Groups such as the Goths, Vandals, and Franks began pushing against Roman territory. For centuries, Rome had relied on powerful legions to defend its frontiers, but maintaining such a massive military required enormous resources. Taxes increased, the economy struggled, and inflation spread throughout the empire. At the same time, Rome was becoming more difficult to govern. The empire had grown too large. From the Atlantic Ocean to the Middle East, from the deserts of North Africa to the forests of Germany, controlling such a vast territory was an immense challenge. In an attempt to restore order, Emperor Diocletian introduced a radical solution in the late 3rd century. He divided the empire into 2 administrative halves. The Western Roman Empire would be governed from Italy. The Eastern Roman Empire would be ruled from the wealthy city of Constantinople. At first, this division helped stabilize the empire, but over time, the 2 halves began to follow different paths. The Eastern Empire remained strong. Its cities were wealthy, its defenses were formidable, and its government remained relatively stable. But the Western Empire faced increasing difficulties. Its economy weakened, its military became overstretched, and its political leadership grew fragile. Then, in the late 4th century, a new and terrifying force appeared in Europe: the Huns. These fierce warriors arrived from the steppes of Central Asia. They were fast, relentless, and devastating in battle. As the Huns advanced westward, entire populations began fleeing their path. Germanic tribes that had once lived beyond Rome's borders now sought refuge within the empire. Large groups of Goths crossed the Danube River into Roman territory. At first, Rome attempted to control the migration, but tensions soon exploded into open conflict. In the year 378 AD, Roman forces faced the Goths at the Battle of Adrianople. It was one of the most catastrophic defeats in Roman military history. The Roman army was crushed, and the emperor himself was killed on the battlefield. The defeat shocked the empire. For the first time in centuries, Rome's military dominance had been shattered, and the pressure on the Western Empire only continued to grow.
In the early 4th century, waves of invasions struck Roman territory. Vandals swept across Spain and North Africa. The Visigoths marched into Italy. In the year 410 AD, something unimaginable happened. The city of Rome itself was attacked. For 800 years, the city had stood untouched by foreign enemies. But now, Visigothic forces led by King Alaric entered the Eternal City. For 3 days, Rome was looted. The psychological impact was enormous. Across the Roman world, people began to wonder whether the empire could survive. Yet the Western Empire still struggled on for decades. Roman generals attempted to maintain control, but the empire was no longer the power it once was. By the middle of the 5th century, real authority often lay in the hands of powerful military commanders rather than emperors. Finally, in the year 476 AD, the Western Roman Empire reached its end. A Germanic leader named Odoacer deposed the last Roman emperor in the West. His name was Romulus Augustulus. The young ruler was removed from power without a great battle, without a dramatic siege, without the fall of towering walls. Instead, the empire simply faded away. Odoacer declared himself ruler of Italy, and the Western Roman Empire ceased to exist. But the story of Rome did not entirely end. In the East, the empire continued. The Eastern Roman Empire, later known as the Byzantine Empire, would survive for nearly another 1,000 years. Yet the fall of the Western Roman Empire marked the end of an era. The political unity that had once held much of Europe together disappeared. New kingdoms emerged across the former Roman lands. Trade networks changed, cities declined, and Europe entered a period historians would later call the Early Middle Ages. Still, the legacy of Rome never truly vanished. Roman law influenced modern legal systems. Roman engineering shaped cities and infrastructure. Roman culture and language spread across continents. Even today, the echoes of Rome remain visible in governments, architecture, and institutions around the world. The empire may have fallen, but its influence continues to shape civilization more than 1,500 years later. Rome was not destroyed in a single moment. It declined through centuries of pressure, conflict, and transformation. And in its fall, a new world slowly began to rise from the ruins of the old. The story of Rome is not only the story of an empire, it is the story of how civilizations grow, how they struggle to survive, and how, eventually, even the greatest powers in history must face the passage of time.